think there are any contributing factors that led to your addiction?
At first, no, but then it was stress. A lot of it was, I put it down to a lot of stress, not opening up to people, because I was a chef, so I was doing like 100 hours a week, so I was just constantly under pressure, and then when you finish work, it's standard that you have a beer afterwards.
I think having domestic violence, my dad leaving as a child had a big impact, and I've seen load of violence with my auntie and my sisters, so I've been brought up like around violence and people drinking.
Well, when I was younger, I was sexually abused. I think that's played a big part in my life decisions and stuff that I've done in my life. Yeah, that was a big one, that.
As I say, my childhood was traumatic. I was abused. I got kicked out of my dad's at 16 and, I was sort of left on my own. I went to a mother and babies hostel in Blackpool, but my parents didn't really want me. But all the relationships, volatile relationships, one after the other, and me basically just running riot, really.
The facts of not being listened to and also like not feeling part of at times, because I was an only child, so I think the contributing factor was I just didn't feel like I was listened to at times, and due to my childhood and stuff, when I got this opportunity, when I did go and do stuff, I went and did it to the extreme. So for me, because I didn't get much attention, and that's one of the contributing factors. I used to do things, for that I get attention. Even if it was negative, as long as I got some sort of attention, then I felt happy with that.
I was just always kind of different when it came to drugs and alcohol. I was the kind of person that would take them and couldn't stop. I had the justification list massively, it's causing from Glasgow council estates, and there was alcohol and party, all this kind of stuff, and but I know people that have been brought up like that and never used drugs, so.
Well, yeah, I tried to commit suicide, tried to chuck myself off a bridge. So I went to a crisis team and they rushed me into rehab as quick as possible.
The reason that I'm here today is I had a problem with drugs for over 30 years.
In drug addiction for around 15 years.
I first started using drugs when I was about 16. So I'm 50 now and I've been at it for 34 years, heroin, alcohol, crack.
My drinking career sort of lasted over 30 years.
Been in an active addiction for 30 years, on and off, trying to get clean. Started off party scene, ecstasy, cocaine and alcohol, progressed in the end to heroin and crack cocaine.
I worked through my whole addiction. I didn't really see it as a problem, and then when I lost work and I couldn't keep a job down, that's when it got really bad and I isolated for years.
My drinking got worse 5 years through a domestic violence relationship, and I just waking up drinking every morning and isolating myself, drinking to get through the day.
I first got a semblance of what light recovery is in 2015. Since then, a couple of times I've been in treatment and relapsed, and this is my third attempt.
I did a short detox, came out and then relapsed, went back out there.
But the problems then started happening, and I wanted to die, basically.
I ended up with nothing, no family, no friends, just using on my own, which resulted in me becoming homeless, stealing, robbing off people.
Ended up Wanted to die, I just wanted to die. I didn't want to live anymore.
So I'd been through detoxes before and they didn't really work, and that was because I weren't being treated for my alcoholism, which I looked at Acorn and thought the DEEP programme would be for me.
I came to DEEP really through desperation. The last 8 years of my life has been pretty much hospitals and stuff like that, ill health, and got pretty desperate and wanted to stop, but couldn't stop on my own. I needed help.
As I say, I weren't offered rehab before. I'd only done detoxes, and this was the first time. I don't think I'd have been ready at a younger age. I just think I'd hit a low point in my life and I needed it.
Deep for me, I think it's just what it says. It goes deep within you to bring the stuff up that we've not dealt with, and we've not got an understanding of our behaviours and why we do these kind of things. So it just looks at the behaviours from you being a child and like going upwards.
Coming into treatment with the counsellor Ray and Emma, they worked with me. I gave them a lot to work with, and they showed me all my character defects. And I thought, no, there's no way I'm like that, but hey, I was.
So for me, the difference this time with the 12 steps, for me, it was more about me, took more responsibility for my stuff.
Painful at times, difficult, heart-wrenching.
It was a life-changing experience for me, basically. Some of the work I've done has not been easy, you know, but it was definitely something I needed to do, 100%. I don't think if it weren't for DEEP and recovery and the treatment centre, I don't think I'd be here today.
Well, it's a good programme. It was tough at first. For the first 5 weeks I was just wanting to leave, but I thought I'd knuckle down, and I finally started to get it, being honest and things like that. But I struggled for the first 5 weeks, but it's been good for me once I knuckled down and started to get on with my work.
I know that for sure when I came here, part of me believed that that I was unlivable, not worth it, and stuff like that. I always kind of felt different from others, and it gave me a chance to see the world in a new light, you know, and it was very negative. I used to see the world, when I looked at it, I seen starvation, poverty, addiction, the chopping down the trees and the ozone layers melting and all of that stuff. And that's how I used to kind of view the world, and I had a lot of justifications and stuff for not participating in the world and not bringing something to the world, you know, a little bit of change.
Life story has always been a difficult piece of work to put down on paper the stuff that through your childhood and the stuff that you've done wrong, you know. And also I'd say my step 4 as well, sitting down in a room and sharing the resentments and my fears. And then also on the plus side of that, you know, your assets, which was quite a freeing experience to realise like what other people see in you that sometimes you don't see.
The pain of writing those grief letters in your life story, it's so painful, and it really hurts. It's like you can feel the pain coming through your hands as you're writing it.
Biggest realisation so far is that choice, it's up to me what I believe in. I can choose to believe in whatever I choose to, and it's up to me or not whether these things exist. So through the power of choice, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you could just believe that it's true, and it's true.
I think the turning point was when I was able to discuss some of the stuff that I've kept to myself for such a long time, and that was by being broken up into bits and exposed. What the counsellors do, you know, that's what they do to you, but then they put you back together again.
After my life story, probably grief letters. They were hard to read out. Not so much hard to write, but when you're in a group and you're reading it out, it's a whole different, just a different feeling you get. It's quite relieving as well, you know, once you've got it out there, and you know, just letting people know some of the stuff you've done it's hard, isn't it?
When I realised that I don't have to use anymore, it was a feeling of sincere gratitude and an overwhelming sense of love and peace that I was no longer alone. And that's the help that I was truly asking for. And the difference today is the help's maybe been there and stuff like that, but I'm able to accept the help now that I've been praying for and my family have been praying for, that I'm worth that help. So.
I think it was when they was talking about my family and the importance of the ripple effect that it has on them. Not just me, it's to everybody. Like my children, my family, my mum, my dad or my sisters. Because I didn't know that it has that big effect on the family as well as me.
Letters. Yeah, they're the ones that brought up the most emotions. Having to read them out just hit home with me how much I'd hurt people and how much I'd held in.
Most important piece for me was my step one, admitting that I was powerless, and going into that in like my loss of control, my vulnerability, and realising, you know, how much control that I do lose when I use substances, and also how vulnerable I am when I'm in that position.
My last story, I had to bring up stuff that I'd not spoke about for years. Like my mum dying and stuff like that, and how it affected me. And that I'd not really spoke about it or even been open to suggestion about it. Yeah, and like all the harm I'd caused and what I'd done to myself, and the fact that I wasn't there as a father for my daughter.
How old is she?
She's 9.
I would say the grief letters for me, for my children, that because it just, when it's there on paper, it just shows it's there in black and white what harm and what the hurt, and it's just like real. It's there, what you put your family through, and it just shows like it has a massive impact on your children. Even though you don't realise it at the time, it does. I look back at them letters and I think the things that they've been through at their ages, it's just heartbreaking.
It's probably my grief letter to my mum and my dad. Yeah, definitely.
Expand on that a little bit.
I think, what can I say about that? I think it was just the fact that I knew that I've hurt them over the years, for 15 years using, and being able to get it out on paper, and then, you know, I sort of blamed them for a couple of incidents that happened in my younger days, and come to the reality that it wasn't their fault, you know.
Most enjoyable when my leaving letter, really, when all my peers said, good company I'd been and how they liked me. Everybody said how they liked me.
Pos and negs. They were fun to do, but on you know, they weren't, because I know, and I used to take it so personally. You know, I'd pick up resentments all the time, and I kept trying to not take it personal, but you know, I did for quite a while. But it was only the latter end of my primary that I realised, you know, these people are sort of helping me and challenging me, which I wanted.
So my life story was a good opportunity to show people who I really am, and explore the guilt and shame and stuff like that around what I've done, but also the grief letters to my mum and dad and my son and daughter were really important parts. It's kind of ironic that one of my greatest fears are losing my parents, and yet here they are watching their son killing themselves. So I understand how you guys must have felt. I kind of thought that there was more going on than there actually was. I thought that it must have been because I had some sort of immoral deficiency, or that I was a bad person, or this is the stuff that I believed about myself.
I think one of the life learning things that have happened to me is that I know I cannot drink or take a drug.
This stuff's never over, and to always try and keep stuff in the day, to continue to keep stuff in the day. That's the biggest lesson that I've learned, is that, but also that people genuinely care about me as well.
To talk and to be honest and open, and willingness to just to talk about your problems and not keep them within.
To be honest, be real with people. You know, don't put up like a barrier and be someone you're not.
Be open, speak to people, let people know what's going on for me. Connection's a massive one for me. Connecting with the right people, and not hanging around with the idiots like I used to.
I hope, most of all, that one day I'll be back with my daughter and stuff like that. She'll be back in my life and I'll be back in her life, but hopefully that time will come when it's about my daughter and not about me.
Well, I think now at the moment I've been happiest I've been all my life. You know what I mean? I'm laughing a lot more, I've got more money in my pocket, I can eat well, you know what I mean? I'm feeling good about myself now.
It's just given me my life back and more opportunities to do things with my life and to be a mum to my children.
To get back into employment, to continue to have good connections with my family and also with the people that I've met, you know, doing this treatment. There's a lot of love shown and a lot of love received as well. I find it difficult to do that at times, but more and more on a daily basis, I'm more comfortable with the person that I'm becoming.
I'm doing a bit of volunteer work through Acorn, helping new clients to cook, which is like a bit of a stepping stone for me. Doing a bit on reception, but yeah, my priority is to become a catering tutor.
My wishes for the future are to stay clean and give back some of what I've been given. For me to see people with that gift of desperation in meetings and, you know, coming into treatment, you know, it just reminds me of what it was for me. So I'm able to give them something, some hope.
For the future, just a better life for me, my daughter, give her the life she deserves, the dad that she deserves. Yeah, because I've not really been there for her much at all. You know, I want to be there to one day my mum and dad, you know, need help with anything. I can be there for them, to support them. Just be an all-round better person.
I wish for the future to continue recovery.
Just to carry on doing what I'm doing and stay sober and stay off drugs. Yeah, and start living my life.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to Work-On as an organisation. They never left me, despite relapsing and stuff. They was there. They gave me an opportunity to come back, and I grabbed it with both hands. And also, I just want to say thank you to my peers who went before me and who's gone through this journey with me as well.
I'd like to say thank you to my mum, my dad, for supporting me all the way through this, never give up on me, and Linda as well. I'd like to thank you all my children, never giving up, they've been my biggest support. To Ray and Emma, you've helped me massively. Without yous, I don't know where I would have been. You've given me hope and you've given me my life back. You've just given me the ability to be a mum, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
My family for staying by me. A special thank you to my daughter's mum for giving me that opportunity to be there as a father.
Emma, a big thank you, you know, for being like she was with me, to enable me to become somebody who I want to be rather than the person I was. My husband, for coming today. He's been through my addiction with me all the way and stood by me.
My daughter, very grateful to still have my daughter in my life. My ex-partner Emma, my mum and dad for believing in me. You know, my mum supported me from day one.
I'd just like to thank my family for staying behind me, my mum. You know what I mean? Where things I've put her through, I'm just hoping that I can do it for her, and she stuck by me thick and thin. I'd just like to thank her.
Yes, thank you to my family for always standing by me, always loving me unconditionally, and hoping and praying that this day would come. So God bless you all, and thank you very much.